so you could prove that this happened instead of destroying the evidence. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, KGeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Titans. We are now in season 4, episode 2, which is called Mother Mayhem. So the last episode, we were introduced to the season with Connor being contacted by both of his fathers, initially from Superman saying he wanted to meet him, and then eventually from Lex also saying that he wanted to meet him. But unfortunately, the meeting with Superman did not happen. I'm going to guess because of good old-fashioned not having the rights to put Superman in the show. But of course, Lex managed to convince Connor to meet him, and we discovered that apparently Lex has got a terminal illness and he thinks he's found a way to cure it, but he can't do it without Connor's help. And Connor, being young and impressionable and honestly just seeking a sense of belonging and family, felt like he owed it to his father to at least try and save him. But things went horribly awry because, as usual, Lex has crossed somebody because he thinks he's better than everyone, and it looks like one of his former research people or one of the experts that he used to uncover this new power turned on him or did something to basically ensure that Lex was not allowed to just dispose of her. And so that resulted in Lex coughing up a giant serpent, and it seems like he died. And Connor being there at the wrong time, wrong place, it looks like he is going to be potentially charged with the death of Lex Luthor, pardon me. And whether or not this was Lex's plan, it's kind of hard to say because he is the kind of man that would set up his own son for his murder. But I do think it might have something to do with this assistant. In the meantime, we were also introduced to another character who did actually get a lot of screen time, but he's some type of taxidermist who seems to be having a split personality or an outer body experience of some kind that seems to be involving a weird Birdman of some kind. And this Birdman's out there killing people. We don't know why or how, but Rachel is also somehow connected to this as well. And we also saw that Gar got transported to some other plane while transforming in the last episode, and it was very brief, but in that time he apparently did a lot of damage. His shapeshifting was out of control, and yeah, there's just a lot of strange stuff happening at the moment. And so that was a lot to take in the first episode, but it definitely dropped some seeds for hopefully things we're going to follow through on and get answers to as the season continues. So I expect to see the fallout from obviously whatever happened to Lex, if he is in fact dead, if Connor's going to be incarcerated. We all know that Connor does not want to be locked up again since he spent the first half of his life in a box, so I don't see that going well. But we know that Team Titan is definitely not going to leave him without any help or support, so I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going to go in this episode. But before I jump in, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome to my channel. I do reactions to shows like this here, so if you're interested in watching me do that, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate it so much if you gave some love to the like button as well. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. And if you haven't joined the family already, please do so today. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into episode 2 right about now. Y'all remember the song? Some of you are too young to remember the song. Got this feeling somebody's watching me. Maybe this isn't a flashback, so I just realized that tech wouldn't have been around when this song came out. Oh, y'all, don't come for a child. Don't do that. She's painting birds. I wonder if that's significant, considering we've already seen this Birdman.
You're a terrorist, son.
I know, I'm the worst.
Hello? Do y'all see the blood in the windows? Anyone?
What's going on?
Find your baby. Find her right now. Or just stare at the blood. Why does he always go for the women? His problem is he's clearly compensating.
Mom?
Don't investigate, baby. I don't think you can save her now. But it is women now. Both times he froze the man and killed the woman. And she's a little girl. I don't think that'll help you because he just appeared in that house. He's behind you, isn't he? Interesting. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Behind you, sweetie. What does this man have against girls? It's definitely females. Well, I guess we'll find out. I thought it was just random in the last episode, but no. Definitely targeting women. Females. He needs to come after the wrong one like Rachel or Corey. See what happens. Oh, this is Lex's place. Oh, that's a body bag, so he didn't make it.
Hands behind your head. Get down on your knees.
Dude, did he look like he was resisting? He's Superboy. He could have left already.
And the late Lex Luthor's genetic material.
That Lex commissioned. Not kryptonite, you jerks. Metropolis Where's the superhero jail again? Arkham? No, that's the asylum. But there's another jail that's for superpowered villains. Why is he being put in Gen Pop?
We're gonna get you out of here, Connor.
And find the people who did this.
One way or another.
I didn't know that kind of power existed.
Says the boy that can literally run through walls.
No one should die like that. Not even Lex Luthor.
Lex deserved it.
This isn't over.
Corey said it. It gonna be done.
I was born in a tube. I'm used to being kept in a cage.
I was about to say. Sadly familiar. Corey, could you just burn this whole place down? Connor will survive.
I gotta show you something.
What?
A naked photo. Just kidding.
Why was he watching me?
I don't know.
I mean,
Wanna find out?
you're kind of pretty. He was probably looking for a bride.
Good magic versus bad magic.
Bruce never thought there was any difference. Based on what Connor saw, I'm starting to understand why.
It's true. Magic is supposed to be a neutral entity. Depends on who wields it.
Okay.
Are you afraid a tree's gonna jump out and smack you there, buddy? On second thought, maybe these trees do have the upper hand. I take it back. So did Dick tell you the time that he basically took out a giant wolf all by himself when he was like prepubescent? Not much to live up to, huh?
Keep your senses open. Everything in the environment has a message.
Yeah, it's a bit different for you, Gar. You literally have animal instincts. What was that?
Did you hear that?
Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't.
Gar?
Maybe you should have taken him with you. He's the one who can't fight. Anyway. Yeah, he's like, dude. All the black genetics in me are telling me not to leave me alone here. Is this the same thing that was messing up his changing before? It's so hard to tell with Gar because it could be just his actual animal hearing or it could be whatever is messing with him. Or trying to communicate with him. I'm assuming the worst. Don't shift. Don't shift, Gar. Don't shift. I'm assuming that's not good. He needs to tell someone, I hope. His little buddy there tells everybody if he doesn't.
I know Luther's been researching me. Since you're here, I'm going to assume you know why.
My name is Nelson Blake.
She didn't ask you that.
I didn't ask you that. And I'm done asking.
Queens!
The whole LexCorp inner circle died last night, choking on their own blood. I'm the only one who's still alive.
Let's remedy that.
What kind of advisors?
Doctors,
And?
healers, some archaeologist woman.
There we go. Name?
It sounds like chanting.
And now you're coughing up your own blood. Stand back. Stand back. This would be a great time to get out your phone so you could prove that this happened. Instead of destroying the evidence. But I get it.
The physical world, things pass. But beyond the veil, things remain.
I don't know if I like the fact that she's connected to magic as well. I feel like this could be a bad two-way door for her.
This is where Alexander died.
Alexander? I think his mother's the last person to call him that. Careful, Rachel. Very rarely a one-way street with this stuff. I guess the difference, though, is I don't think that this archaeologist is actually a magic person. She just figured out how to use something magical. Whereas Rachel's an actual magical being, so...
I don't know who did it, but I've seen where they've been.
Yeah, she was trying to figure it out and you just called her out of it. I don't blame him, though. Rachel has kind of a crazy death monster in her that sometimes just decides to go for a walk on its own.
What did the voices say?
Hi.
Say it.
Sure.
I'm so over him lying. Okay, this is just a little life 101. When someone said that they just heard voices in their head and passed out in the middle of nowhere, maybe not the best idea to bring them with you onto sensitive missions involving magic and stuff. Just a thought.
So, how is Julie? You never bring her by.
Oh, this guy again.
Julie's busy, Mum.
I'm assuming she has dementia. That's where it comes from. So Julie broke his heart then, I'm assuming. And that's why he's taking it out on every female, even those that wouldn't be old enough to be his wife.
If it works
There's
out.
nothing my sappy can't do when he puts his mind to it.
Aw, she still loves you. I mean, just trespassing. I mean, this house is very clean. I'll give it that.
What do you sense?
That this family is dead. I wonder if the woman is going after the LexCorp people and not realizing that a side effect of her magic is this Birdman. But we'll see whether or not this family has anything to do with anything else soon. Yeah, welcome to your first dead body. Team Titans.
You heard him, buddy.
Yeah,
We
let's
got
go.
it from here. Come on.
Since you're about to puke and pass out at the same time.
You heard that?
Mm-hmm. Did he not kill the girl? I hope not. Like, dude, she wasn't even old enough for anything. And what always happens to the men?
No, she's in a nightmare. Left her this way.
I'm calling the paramedics.
I think Rachel can bring her out of it.
No, wait, I can help her.
Yeah, this feels like if it's magical, they'll just sedate her, which will make it worse. This is kind of cool because we haven't seen Rachel do like Dreamworld stuff since season 1. Where are they? This is not her house.
Bone-faced man.
He's collecting blood.
You're okay.
He does that a lot.
Jake, what's happening?
Yeah, can we just get the child out of here? Fight later. It's fine. She had it under control.
That sound. I never heard anything like that.
I have. It's the sound of dying animals.
Taxidermist. Feeling so much better about not eating meat anymore. Your mommy, though, not so much. Let's not go downstairs.
I preferred a world where Lex Luthor and I weren't a thing. Something violating about knowing he was watching me.
You're an alien. There's a lot of people watching you, Corey.
Whatever this is, whatever he was doing, he believed that you were connected to it. If I were you, I'd spend a lot of time thinking about how. They will never let me forget what I am.
Dick and Rachel are going to find out who's responsible.
He's always such a whiner. Yeah, Connor, my dear, you need to learn that you'll never be everyone's favorite. Not even Superman is everyone's favorite, despite the fact that he saved the world a few hundred times. You gotta learn to just know that you're the ish and love that.
Think Tetris, but on an infinitely larger scale.
He's a gamer. Oh, so this is like Dragon's Den, but for games. Please don't kill all these people.
Mr. Sanger, your presentation was well told.
You didn't pay attention to any of it.
You have passion, but we need more than that.
Yep. It's a woman, always. Yep, he's gonna murder every single one of you. By the way, that still won't get your game approved.
Maybe he went to change the world.
Yeah, cackle. You're all gonna be dead by midnight. That's hard though, when you have a dream that people don't understand, but that usually means you need to forge your own path. Sadly, he's already crazy, so that's not gonna happen. I really don't think we should be bringing the newbie here. So far, he's cowered and blindly thrown a stick and almost thrown up. I'm not saying he'll always be like that. Why are the people letting Rachel go by herself? I know she's got this crazy power and stuff, but she's still one person. Ooh, not meat hooks.
It's Ari's father.
So he's keeping the men for the blood and just murdering the women. How interesting. There's the bro from the first one. She did not do that.
He did that to himself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that to him. He did it to himself.
It's done now. That's all that matters.
It's not. I think he was just a body being used. I hear something. I think that was just a body being used. There will be more.
Mom?
Oh, did his mom pass? I mean, at least your last moments were nice with her. She told you that she believed in you.
Again, I'm so sorry, Mr. Sanger.
And now those people are definitely going to die because he's going to be like, I was pitching to these people who hated me and my mom died. Oh, it's you. So you're using him. Did you do that on purpose? Kill the mother. I'm assuming she killed because the mom looked very robust when we last saw her. So that's Mother Mayhem, I'm assuming.
The doctors say your father will be okay. Just needs a
I
little
won't,
bit more
though.
time.
Traumatized for life.
I know what happened.
He's like, if it's any consolation, I saw my whole family die in front of me, too. No?
She has magic like the Nightmare Man.
No, Arya. Nothing like him.
She's not like him. But magic, yes.
Whatever power Luther was buying, looks like Dr. Homewood wanted to keep it for himself.
No. Pawn.
I never thought he was capable of this.
Oh, you poor naive baby.
I never want to come back to Metropolis again.
That's a mature response. That is Superman's home. You've only peeled off the first layer of the onion, guys. But you'll discover that soon enough.
No more stops until we get to San Francisco. We leave all that behind us. Why is it never easy to leave this town?
I was about to say, y'all ain't leaving.
Are you certain?
It's not over till we stop her.
Then let's finish this.
Suit up!
It's episode 2. Okay. What does she want, though? Why would she stop them? Does she want Rachel? Probably. Or Connor. Sit down.
Connor, what?
Way to do exactly what she wanted, dummy. Sorry. I really shouldn't be that hard on him, but sometimes he annoys me. Rachel can't take her, guys. She should probably go. I admire his chutzpah, but it's like, if she wasn't scared of Superboy, why would she be scared of you? Come on, Corey. Something's got to work. But Lex was studying you, so that's worrisome. She left. Where's Corey? Good job, girl. She stole it. Interesting.
What did you do to her?
Stole her magic.
No.
The hell? She blonde now? Alright, well, new look, new you, I guess. Of course she has a cult. Of course she does. Alright, this just looks like a bunch of teenagers that are all high on E. Meanwhile, what does she want with you? Are you going to be her next victim? To be the Birdman? I think she's lined up a bunch of these guys for this. But why did she pick him? Yeah, he's hearing it now. So he's going to be the next Birdman? Yes, the fact that he's not disturbed by that, that's more scary. Well, that was episode 2 of the Titans, and things are getting definitely a lot darker. We're definitely delving quite deeply into the whole magical aspect of things, it looks like, this season, which I feel like, again, reminds me of season 1. I mentioned earlier that we haven't seen Rachel really be deep in that whole magical side of herself since season 1. Season 2 and season 3 had much more corporeal and like human type threats. I mean, obviously there was a little bit of supernatural involved, but not really about magic, right? That really wasn't since Rachel and her father's storyline. So seeing it come back to this is kind of fun, I think, because it just makes the world a little bit deeper, a little bit richer, especially considering the fact that the show can't really delve into all of the villains and, the brights that you would in this DC world. So utilizing the magic and more of that space, I think, allows them to get into some pretty crazy stuff within the realm of their reach in this show. And in this episode, of course, I think what I thought was most interesting, Corey. We see that Lex was looking into Corey, but I remember in episode 1 thinking Lex didn't seem at all rattled by Corey. He didn't seem like he was nervous about her. I know that he would have done some research on the Titans, but again, after he's dealt with Superman, it's not Lex's first rodeo with an alien, so I don't think that he would want to have Corey be anywhere near him unless he had an idea of who she was, what her powers were like, what her weaknesses might be. Like, that's the way Lex works, right? He wants to know his opponents. So as Connor aptly brought out in this episode, she should be worried. Lex was probably already working on some sort of a power or some type of weapon that would be effective against Corey, because he does not like to be outmatched by the extraterrestrial. So she very much should continue to find out what he was researching and how far he got with that. Again, I don't know how much that was really for Lex though, because now we know this Mother Mayhem, she was clearly the brains behind a lot of this occult stuff. It's clearly her jam. And Lex was definitely more, at least from what I remember of the comics, he was definitely more towards technology and extraterrestrial and like space tech. Like, that's kind of more where his leanings were. The occult was something he was aware of, but it really wasn't his bag. So I think he was leaning heavily on this Mother Mayhem lady to do all that for him. But of course, being arrogant as he is, he just assumed that she wouldn't have her own designs and her own plans, and clearly she did. And so at this point, I'm going to assume that Lex actually is dead. I wasn't sure, like I said, like when it comes to these shows, whether these characters are actually gone is a whole other question. But we're going to assume for now that he actually is dead, along with everybody else that she feels would be someone who could stand in her way. She obviously also killed anyone who could identify her, so that they couldn't find her easily, but she clearly doesn't care now. She seems to think she has enough power to go up against anybody who'd come against her. And we saw that with that stab. Connor seems to be completely, useless against her. Obviously, most humans can't do anything. And Corey was able to slow her down, but she didn't stop her. And that's probably why I think she was the one studying Corey, so she could figure out if there was a way to either stop her or somehow absorb her power. Which brings me to Rachel. Obviously, this is Rachel's world. She's been able to kind of sense what this woman's up to, but she can't really figure out what she's up to. And I think she underestimated this woman because, Rachel's power is quite strong. But I think, since season 1, we know that Rachel's never really delved into the depths of her power. Like, she's got a lot of power, but it's a scary thing, and it takes her to a pretty scary place. And in season 1 and 2, we saw that she's very scared that leaning into that side of herself might make her more like her father. And so I think that right now she is holding back. I mean, it looks like from this episode, we see the crystal that she got after her father was defeated disappeared, and her hair color changed. So that's a lot. So I think that, I know that Rachel's not going to be without powers or anything like that. My guess is, like in many shows like this, there's a transformational point. There's a point where you have to kind of make yourself go to the next level. And I think like this is going to be Rachel's next level, her leveling up. And now she looks a little bit more like she does. Well, actually, no, in the comics, I think she has black hair. But anyway, we'll see what happens. So clearly, Mother Mayhem was prepared for Rachel to some degree. And I think she absorbed some of Rachel's magic. But like I said, we already know that Rachel's magic is on another level. So she's just going to have to dig deep at some point. I'm still not exactly sure how Gar ties into all of this yet. He's clearly been hearing some voices too. But whether it's the same thing that Rachel's tapping into, I'm not sure. But I need him to start talking, because right now, obviously, with everything that's been going on, his problems are being pushed to the wayside. But it looks like they are trying to build up some type of story story for him, which is all I've been asking for since season 1. So hopefully we're going to see more come from that. Kind of sad that the final season is what it took for Gar to get something, but I'm hoping it's something that's going to be cool for him and that they'll actually take time to flesh it out to some degree. But yeah, outside of that, we just kind of got more of Connor whining. And I don't mean to be like unempathetic. I understand that he's got to go through his character development as well, but it's just kind of like, since we've been introduced to him, he always leans to kind of the self-pitying side of things, you know, like, oh, I'm just like my father. Oh, look what everyone said. It's just like Lex said. It's like, oh my God, sir. Like, as I said in the episode, everyone is going to, you're never going to be able to be everyone's biggest, you know, hero. You're always going to have people who are going to find fault with you. There's always going to be people who are going to think that you didn't do enough, and you have to get to a point in your life where you realize that you're enough and that it's not going to be enough for somebody else, and that's okay. But I understand that, like I said, Connor's still young and he's still learning about life, and he has to go through these to understand what kind of hero he wants to be. And so yeah, it was just like, okay, but at least he's got, you know, the Titans there to kind of counteract some of that negativity. And who knows, maybe by the end of the season he might get a extraterrestrial message from Superman reminding him that he's got Kryptonian in him as well, and that there's a lot of good in him, not just Lex's capacity for evil. So yeah, another great episode. Looking forward to the next one and seeing where we're going to go from here. Like I said, they're dropping a lot in these episodes. It feels like there's a lot going on, but I'm hoping it's going to wrap up to something really cool by the end of the season, and I'm looking forward to going through it. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.